Saxon's Trig, lesson 63, is about circles and completing the square. I'm going to jump straight to their example 1 because you already know all the basics for how you do these problems. The equation x squared plus y squared minus 6x plus 8y plus 21 equals 0 is the equation of a circle. Now, it's not in the standard circle format, but that's okay. Complete the square to change this equation to its standard form and then graph the circle. I did skip one key piece of information. In the standard form for a circle, we've been talking about this as they've given you those other graphs. You're going to have an x squared and a y squared with same coefficients, not a minus sign, and it's going to equal the radius squared. That's the standard form for a circle. And then, of course, if the center isn't 0, 0, it's going to look like something like x minus 1 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 9. So you're going to have numbers attached in the parenthesis that is squared. And of course, the center would be positive 1, negative 3. General form is this form. Why? Because it equals 0. And we've had that with our circles and ellipses. All right, so now that we've reviewed that, this is in general form. And it's telling you if we want to graph it, we need to put it in this format. So I need to complete the square to do that. So we're going to put our x parts together, minus 6x, and our y parts together, and then go ahead and move that to negative 21 over here on this side. So we're going to complete the square for the x's and complete the square for the y's. Half the x term is minus 3, squares to 9, add to the other side. Half of the y term is 4, squares to 16, adds to the other side. So that's 25 minus, so that should be 4. Now we are in the correct format for graphing. Complete the square to change the equation to standard form. We did that. Now graph the circle. Okay, so the center point is positive 3, negative 4, 3 over 4 down. Here's the center. And this is supposed to be my radius squared. So I need to do the square root of 4 to find that the radius is 2. That means 2 in all directions from the center. Bring that one up a tad. And then I can draw the circle, and I've done the graph that they asked for. Example 2. Given the general form of the equation is x squared plus y squared plus 4x minus 6y plus 6 equals 0. Complete the square to put it in standard form, graph it. So we're repeating what we did before. So let's put our x squared with our 4x, our y squared with our minus 6y, move over our 6, making it negative. Parentheses squared plus parentheses squared equals half of 4 is 2. 2 squared to 4, add to the other side. Half of negative 6 is negative 3, squares to 9, add 9 to the other side. So that should equal 7. Oh, so that one didn't come out quite as nice. All right, it's in the correct format, but when we graph it, center is negative 2, positive 3, changing the sign of both. And then this radius squared is 7, which means that radius is the square root of 7, and that doesn't work out nicely. On my calculator, I would then do square root of 7 and see that it gives me, oh, just a second, 1, 2, it's like 2 and something. So I would go and guess my 2 and something in all directions. 2 and something. 2 and something. Might be a little close there. And then 2 and a little something. And I'm going to draw my circle. But because that was a estimated, I want to actually draw a radius in and label it as the square root of 7 so that there is no confusion about what the distance is I'm trying to actually do there. Okay, example 3. Given the general form is 2x squared plus 2y squared. Now this is a little different because they both have 2's. However, I still have the plus and it's the same number with both. So it is still a circle. Minus x plus y minus 3 equals 0. Complete the square, standard form, and describe the circle, not graph the circle. So that's a little different. Okay. So we're going to put our x terms together, minus x plus our 2y squared plus y equals, and move our 3 over to the other side. Now, I can't complete the square with this 2 in front, so I'm going to pull the 2 out and write this as x squared minus a half x plus 2 pulled out, leaving y squared plus a half of a y equals, and because my 3 was over there, I'm not worried about fixing it with the 2's. Okay, so 2 is carrying with me. I'm going to have my x that is squared. 2 is carrying with me. I'm going to have my y that is squared. So when I do my half of a half, so if you need to see that, that's a fourth. Before I add that to the other side, I want to take, so half it, oh, I haven't done it yet. Okay, so this is what I need to write in here. The 1/4, so minus 1/4, keep the same sign. I've halved it. Now I need to square my 1/4, which means a fourth times a fourth, which is going to be 1/16. And before I add that to the other side, I want to multiply it with this 2, giving me 2/16, which reduces down to 1/8. So I'm adding an 1/8 on this side. Repeat again. Half of the half is a fourth. A fourth squares to a 16th. A 16th times the 2 is, so I get back to another 1/8. So a common denominator of 8 here is going to make that 24/8. So 26/8. I'm debating if I should have left those in 16ths. No. Okay, so then they did it slightly differently. They didn't keep their 2's out here. They went ahead and divided everything by 2. You can do that. It's fine. There's no, it just changes the fractions over here. So at this point, for me to put it in standard form, I need to divide everything by 2. So again, maybe you feel like it was easier to divide by 2. It's what they did before. So I get it down to x minus 1/4 squared plus y plus a fourth squared. And then because I'm dividing by 2, I'm multiplying by the flipping over, which makes it 1/2. So we get 28/16. It's now in the correct format. The reason they didn't ask me to graph this one is because it's messy in fractions, but it said describe it. So the describe would say the center is 1/4 negative 1/4, and the radius is, and of course that's the square root of this 26/16. Well, I can't do anything with the square root of 26. I might be able to simplify it. Square root of 16 is 4, and now I see if I can fix that. So 2 and 13, nope, 2 and 13, both primes, so nope, it's gonna stay right here. My radius is that, and my center is that.